You friendly?
Charlie, mate,
Yes, Prime.
should I buy Battlefield 1?
Yes. Yes, you should. It's all very well for me to say, yes, you should buy this game, but let me take you on the journey that brings me to that conclusion. I may be a huge fanboy of the series and this game in particular, but I can tell you this, it is not like the others, and it is bloody hard. It also has its fair share of down points, but we'll get to that. Let's do it together. Now, I've employed the services of a good friend of mine and the best Battlefield player I know, Red Wolf. He's going to give us a hand all the way through this because you need to know everything before you think about buying this game, and I really hope this helps. Let's have a quick look at classes. There are 4 to choose from: Assault, Support, Medic and Scout. There's also Pilot and Tanker. Those you choose just from your spawn if there's a tank or a plane available. But I'll start with Support. Now, your Support class is exactly how it sounds. You are given straight up a vast array of heavy and light machine guns. The support role, of course, is support. Suppress, ammo, all that kind of stuff. So all the guns are there, you just need to go through and unlock them as you go. Your sidearms are pretty much the same for every single class. You have 2 slots for gadgets, and this is where support really comes into its own. You've got ammo pouches, ammo boxes, mortar. You've also got Repair Tool and the Limpet Charge, and I'll quickly show you some footage of what each one does. The Limpet Charge is essentially a magnetic mine. You run up to whatever you want to, throw it at it, and then run away. Guaranteed it'll blow up. You can also just put it on the ground and shoot the bastard if you're far enough away, but it will kill you if it gets half a chance. The ammo box, ammo pouch, and repair tool are the basics of the basics. Use your repair tools to repair whatever vehicle you're in, or repair someone else's. You get a lot of XP if it's a team member. And, well, the ammo pouches, that's the whole point of support, isn't it? Just resupply your buddies and yourself. And my favourite, the mortar. Now you just set yourself up away from where you want to be blowing up. A little HUD will come up for you, and you can manually move it around to where you want the mortars. Now, they are not pinpoint accurate, but they are extremely good at suppressing. Once rounds start coming down, you generally try and get the hell out of the way for your soldiers to come through. It's not just for killing, it is also an excellent suppressive tool, and I highly recommend it.
Medic. Now, the medic should primarily be the backbone of any good team or squad, if it's played right. Ideally, the medics need to be placed behind either the assault or support classes, ready with their health meds and revive syringe. Medics have a range of DMR semi-automatic machine guns to choose from, with their various attachments for mid to long range combat, but it's the gadgets that make the medic who they are. Now you have the bandage pouch and the medical crate. With the bandage pouch, you just throw them at individual teammates and heal them up, or you can throw down the medical crate and heal all your buddies in one area. Or, if you feel like going for a bit more offensive power, you can go for the rifle grenade attachment, which then you choose from grenade, high explosive grenade, or smoke grenade. Now when you're a medic, one of your main jobs is to go around and help your buddies and revive them. So keep your eyes out for the little skull symbol there you see on your screen, and try and make your way there if it's safe. But don't think that little sucker's not an offensive weapon, because it is. It's very lethal action. You just got to make sure you suck up enough serum when you give them that jab, and they go down in one hit.
Scout, or Sniper, or Recon, whatever you want to call it. Of course, it comes with a basic arrangement of long-range rifles. Your sidearms are the same, and your list of gadgets, and here we go with them. You've got your flares, you've got your K-bullets, then you've got your trench periscope, your sniper shield, your sniper decoy, and tripwire bombs. Let me run you through what each of those does. Sniper shield is a portable shield you can deploy, sit on the ground, lie down and crawl behind it, and there's a little portal window. It does give you quite a bit of cover and is a super handy gadget. It's much better than just lying flat on a bit of rock or something and hope that no one will see you, because they most definitely will. Good bit of kit, this one. Trench Periscope gives you the ability to be able to take cover, but still spot and target enemies, giving you the chance to, well, seemingly appear out of nowhere, knowing where everyone is, and really take care of business. The Spot flare gun allows you to bring up people on the minimap or the HUD that you've got there. So you shoot it into an area where you're going to go, or you want to light up for you or your friends. When you're hitting in there, you know exactly where the enemy are. Very, very handy. Tripwire bombs come in 3 delicious flavours: high explosive, gas and incendiary. All you got to do is stick them on the ground, hopefully where someone won't see them. They'll run in to try and get you, and boom, they'll trigger it, they'll die, you'll laugh, GG. The K bullets are essentially an armour-piercing round. Super, super handy, these things, or you don't get many of them. You need to be next to a resupply guy to really make it worth your while, but they're pretty much a one-shot kill if you get them in the upper chest area. But the most important thing is you can rip through the side of tanks and other vehicles to get the kill. And finally for Scout, the Sniper Decoy, which is essentially a head on a stick. You put it somewhere where you want to get the attention of someone. So let's say you have a couple of shots, jam this thing in the ground, and then relocate nicely. It literally looks like someone's head sticking up, and they will shoot at it, giving you the opportunity to get closer and take them out all the time. They're unaware that you're not actually in that one spot. Very clever.
Assault. The Assault class are the front line of the battlefield, and because of this they have the best close combat weapons and some nifty little gadgets. One of the best small machine guns in the game is the Automatico. It has an insane rate of fire and can be used off the hip with great accuracy. And just like all the other guns in the game, there's 3 variants of the Automatico, so I'm sure you'll find one you'll fall in love with. Now the 10A Hunter is one of the most loved and loathed guns in the game, and with good reason. It has a massive DPS. Although it does fall off quite quickly, most people feel it is too accurate at medium ranges. Let's get onto the gadgets. Dynamite in Battlefield 1 is the equivalent of the past Battlefield's C4, although the dynamite doesn't stick to anything. Also, make sure you're far enough away when you detonate it, because you can't throw it very far. Tank grenades. Big, bad, and handy. Throw a few of these bad boys around and watch the mayhem fly. They're good for both armoured vehicles and infantry. The anti-tank mine. Place these on the ground and hope that any armoured enemy vehicle runs over them. Or you could just shoot them when enemies get close enough. Now the rocket gun is a gun that fires rockets. I know. Weird, huh? To use it though, you have to be prone or near a wall or similar to deploy the bipod, because it's not able to be used off the hip.
Now let's have a look at the game modes that are available in Battlefield 1. You have Conquest, Domination, Rush, Team Deathmatch, and my personal favourite, War Pigeons. That is awesome. Let's start from the start of Conquest. Conquest is a full-size map covered with objectives, and the goal here is to head to an objective that isn't yours, so a red one. Once you get there, you may have to clear a few people out. After everyone's dead and you're the only one there, or your teammates, it will start turning from red to blue. Once it's in your control, you can then move over to the next objective. Domination is essentially a smaller version of Conquest. It's just on a smaller scale, and the tickets turn over faster, so you need to move a lot quicker. It's also a lot more violent and less tactical. Still very good. Rush. Now this is the simplest of the game modes. As far as I'm concerned, you both take it in turns at attacking and defending set positions on a map. So basically what happens is you're running to an area that is marked on the map. Your goal, if you're attacking, is to get to it, set a bomb on the area, and then repel everyone else that's going to try and disarm it. Alternatively, like I'm doing in the footage, I'm defending an area so that no attackers can come and place the bomb. If the bomb goes off, then that station is then taken and you move on to another set that's revealed later on down the track. Great mode. Team Deathmatch. I don't even think I need to explain it. It's exactly what you think it is. You run around with your buddies, you shoot literally everyone in the face, and you die a lot. Next, players, War Pigeon. Very easily my favourite in the game modes. This thing is unbelievably fun and fast and high action. But I cannot stress this enough. If you're going to play a War Pigeon, you need a crew with you. And here's how you play it. In the middle of the map, usually when you start, a pigeon will spawn. Well, technically a box with a carrier pigeon in it. All you have to do is get either yourself or your teammates, get to that pigeon and grab it and hold on to it. You've got to hold on to it for a set amount of time. You'll see here that the tickets are turning around slowly. When the tickets are full, you then get the opportunity to release the pigeon up in the air. You've got to stay well defended and protected while this is happening though. And if you stay still, the letter writes faster. If you move around, it goes much slower. Once it's let up in the air, there is always the danger of having the pigeon actually shot down by the enemy. But if it does make it all the way up in the air, look out, because that pigeon delivers a note to an artillery hold which fires shells raining down hellfire onto your enemies. This is an exciting and dynamic mode, not really seen in the Battlefield series yet. It's kind of like Capture the Flag, but it's Capture the Flying Rat. It is absolutely a stunning game mode.
This is Battlefield 1's in-game server browser interface, where you can find a multiplayer game or spend your well-earned scrap. To the right of your screen, you have your Origin in-game overlay. This will tell you which of your friends are online and who out of those is currently playing Battlefield 1. Also, you can use this to send game invites and join your friends' parties and game sessions. In the Multiplayer tab, we have Operations, Quick Match, Server Browser, and Custom Games. Let's go into the server browser. PC gamers have had this option since the dawn of time, it seems, being able to search and pick exactly which servers you prefer playing on. Just make sure you have your region filter picked and all the right boxes ticked. In the Campaign tab, this is where you can start or continue the single player storyline mode, War Stories. Moving to the next one is the Soldier tab. This is where you can track what rank you are in the game, the progression of medals and dog tags, and your top weapons and vehicles. In the store, this is where you can buy a digital copy of Battlefield 1, Premium Pass, or Battle Packs? Anyway, let's show you what happens when we open a Battle Pack. You'll be rewarded with Battle Packs by playing online matches. This one here is your standard Battle Pack. It'll give you the lowest percentage of distinguished and rare item weapon drops. You'll have the option to add it to your inventory or to sell it for scrap. What's the scrap for, you ask? Well, to buy more Battle Packs, of course. But weapons and skins aren't the only things you can get in Battle Packs. You can also get puzzle pieces, which help you build 2 legendary melee weapons. Oh, and you can get XP boost as well. Okay, well that's the server browser interface. The navigation of it is quite simple. You've just got your tabs along the top there, you've got some shortcuts. I'm sure you'll be able to find your way around and get into a game in no time.
So let's have a look at vehicles. Pretty much it breaks down to this: tanks and planes, tanks and planes, tanks and planes. There is a boat, but it's shit. You need to be going pretty much in a straight line. You get 2 torpedoes and a mounted gun on it. You can get shot out of it way too easily, and the other person pretty much needs to be stood still for you to actually fucking get a kill with these torpedoes. Anyway, let's go with tanks. There are basically 4 different classes: landship, heavy tank, light tank, and artillery truck. I'm not going to go through what every single vehicle does, but I'm going to definitely give you a brief overview. It basically includes things like this: machine guns, flamethrowers, smoke screens, cannons, mortars. You could of course try it the old-fashioned way, and shotgun rounds. And that pretty much sums up the tanks. They're awesome, they're big, they're small, they go fast and slow, and they will go through just about bloody anything. I guess they're really awesome in the fact that they are now completely usable long and short range, unlike the other Battlefields. So let's move forward to the planes. Now there are 3 different types of planes. Number 1 is the attack plane. It moves around quite well, it's fairly fast, and it handles not too bad. It does drop bombs from above. More importantly, it has a large shell gun on the front, so it's kind of like an anti-personnel gun. A bit bigger than a machine gun, a bit smaller than a cannon, but it's a nice mix, and it does exceptionally good strafing runs, as illustrated here.
Hit! 'Em! 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 'Em
And next is the Bomber. This thing is massive and as slow as a wet week. If you're trying to get away from another plane, it's really redundant. But this thing works awesome at low altitude and really high altitude. I actually recommend getting up high to drop bombs. You get a lot more coverage for some reason. Now, this would be a good example of dropping some heat from a bomber. And finally, the fighter plane. This thing is pretty much built for air-to-air combat. Whether you're taking on another plane, a bomber, it doesn't matter what, or you can do strafing runs in them, but it is not that effective unless you are an amazingly good pilot. And it's actually really easy to fly these planes. It's actually easier in multiplayer than in single player. It's quite a good vehicle. Now let's finish off the vehicles with this. Do you guys know in Battlefield 4 they've got something called Levolutions? Basically it means that you can blow up like a massive part of the map, like the dam wall, and it brings in a whole bunch of water and completely changes the map. You can blow up a big tall building in the middle of one of them, and it creates a different point of attack. Now, they don't have this in this game, but they have a kind of a system that helps you out if you're struggling. If your team's not doing that well, right, either you're getting flogged or you're not, you're really not doing great and the other team is advancing, they'll give you a gift of Battlefield 1 love. And that comes in 3 different shapes. One is the Zeppelin, or the Behemoth as it's called. It's basically a gigantic Zeppelin with machine gun turrets at the top and flat cannons underneath it. You can pull this thing down, but when it goes down to the ground, it is spectacular and it will kill everything underneath. So be warned, if you bring one down, it will kill you if you're directly under it. But, gee whiz, these things cause some damage. And the next one is the Dreadnought. It's basically a massive ship, and it'll come out from the side. It has a multitude of very large caliber cannons that fire into objectives. You can steer it around anywhere you want to go. A lot of people go right out to sea, so I'll put some of the guns out of range. But I like to bring them up close. It kills your boat quicker, but it also gives you full coverage of the map. This thing's a real monster. And the last one is the Armoured Train. This thing rolls in on, and of course each is different for each map. This thing rolls in and it's exactly what it says it is. It is a bloody big armoured train that has a fuck ton of guns, and it just goes absolutely crazy. You can kill all these things, but you really need to focus up hard on them and give them a smashing. It's quite a really good feature, and I really like them. They're a little bit OP, but they really do help you out, and it's a good way for it to get delivered. Now, it's time for me to start wrapping this thing up. I was going to do a section on the single player campaign, but you know what? If you end up buying this game, I want that to be a surprise. I will say this much though. It is by far the best looking campaign I've ever played. The cutscenes are absolutely stunning, and it plays absolutely beautifully. But I'm not going to show you any of the things, nor will I tell you what it's all about. All I can say is that it is a really unique experience. Now, do I like the game a lot? Yep, I sure do. But, as I said at the start, it's got some flaws. You're limited as to what game mode you can play because people don't want to play pigeon mode, and they don't want to play, a lot of rush. Pretty much Conquest is where it's at the moment. Now, if you're looking for a replacement for Battlefield 4, this is not the game for you. It is nothing like that. This game is purely team-based. If you're a team player, you are going to do really, really well, but you need to squad up to do it well. If you go in there by yourself I guess if you're just going to snipe, you will do okay, but you need to keep it tight with a crew. There are glitches in this thing. Some of the guns are completely OP. You may get kicked out. While trying to quit the game, sometimes it freezes, which is super annoying. These are just a few of the things that are going on. It's not as bad as the Battlefield 4 launch. That game barely ran. This, however, has been fairly flawless so far. There are hackers, I'm not going to lie, but they're not rampant. And they've got an easy to report system this time, which is really good. Downside too, well, you can rent servers, But you got to do it through Origin. You can't mix up the game modes and you can't really customize it too much. So basically, if you want to rent a server for your clan, it's just going to be the one game mode, and that'll be roughly it. At this point, I'm sure they'll change it as more and more things come out. And more things are coming out for Battlefield 1. Expansion packs, which is going to be really cool. Of course, they'll bring skins out and stuff that I don't really give a shit about. But I guess overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this about a 7. It's very entertaining and it's very super hard. It's not like Battlefield 4. There aren't scopes straight up on your guns. Actually, there's very few scopes in this game. And if you do want them, you've got to unlock them. I do like the point spending system. That's very cool. Listen, thanks very much for sticking it out. Thank you, Red Wolf. Thank you, Loco. Thank you, Hitman. Thank you, Dog Day. All you guys helped with this footage a lot. This was a massive video, and thanks for sticking around. Oh, by the way, I've made something a little bit special with the help of those boys I just mentioned as a bit of a thank you for sitting through this entire video. Stick around for a real nice bonus feature. I'm Charlie DayZ. Much love.